Okay, so in this video, what I'm going to do is I want to show you how to pretty much fill out some of the important steps within CPV Labs and how to complete the campaign creation process. So when you go into CPV Labs, if you watch other videos and press direct link and landing page, hopefully you've got your landing page set up by now, and hopefully you have an offer URL set up as well. So all you need to do is you need to make sure that once you add in your landing page and offer URL, you do the following things. Assign to group, I mean, I'll usually leave this as blank. You can create groups as well if you want. If you go to settings and then create groups, campaign groups right here. And if you want to just organize your results and your statistics better, you can add different campaigns into different groups. But typically, I just add it into a traffic source that I'm using. So I might have something like Facebook as a group, and I might just assign it to a Facebook group. Okay, so I can see all my Facebook campaigns by just displaying that group. Now, alert profiles and optimization profiles, I'll leave it as blank. I don't really use this too much. Capture options is something that's very, very important. So if you're running a mobile campaign, you want to make sure you press the mobile data. I mean, typically what you can do is you can just select all of these. Referrers as well, I usually use that, especially if I'm using like native ads or pop traffic or any run of network traffic source, because it will now tell me the domain names that a user is coming from. So that can be very, very good, especially for native ads or pop ads. So if those kind of sources like that, typically what you're going to be doing is you're going to be running on all of their inventory and all of their sites that they have in their inventory, and they don't tell you the domain names that the user is coming from. So if you press referrers, you can actually see within your tracking reports the exact domain name that a user is coming from, and they can actually go to that site directly and organize maybe a big media buy if it does convert well for you. So that's why I like referrers. So I usually click on all of these, but make sure if you're running a mobile campaign, you definitely want to make sure you click mobile data and ISP/carriers. But you can click all of these options, okay? And once we've done that, predefined source is basically going to be traffic networks that you're going to be using. I mean, you can leave it as blank, to be perfectly honest with you. I actually leave it as blank for most of the time, but if you have a traffic network that's already inside of here, it's going to make it easy for you to just click on the traffic network, and your campaign URL is going to be structured for that traffic network, but I usually leave it as blank. A campaign ID, you can't alter that. Priority, I leave it as that. Engagement rate, I leave all of this stuff, all of the pass through, I just leave it as it is. The only thing I really care about when I make a campaign is the cost per click right here, which I can add. You can always change it as well, so I just put it as 10 cents starting off, but you can always change it. And append sub ID to offer, you always want to make sure that that's clicked to offer, so then your CPV Labs account can connect with the CPA network that you're using. So you can always change your cost per click once you've got some data to whatever the cost per click is, but for this example I'm just going to leave it as 10 cents and make sure append sub ID is set to offer. Now a sub ID is basically a little bit of, it's like a string of characters that gets added to your offer URL, and it basically can connect your offer URL to your tracking account. So that's why you want to make sure append sub ID is clicked. And once you've done so, you can pretty much leave redirect type as it is. Failure page, you can leave it as it is. Now the only thing that you want to do and make sure of is to add your ad tokens. Now if you want to find your tracking tokens from a specific traffic network, all you need to do is go to trackingtokens.com, and you can actually find pretty much every single tracking token for every single website or most traffic networks. So for this example, I'm going to use, let's just use Traffic Factory. So with Traffic Factory, if I'm running a campaign on Traffic Factory, we need to follow the following rules. So your ad token, this is going to be what's added to the end of your campaign URL. And all you want to do is you can name it whatever you want. The naming is just for your reference only. So for this name, we're going to call it as ad name, okay? And the URL append is what you add to the end of your URL. And you need to basically structure it as the following. You need to put the and sign, then you can put anything. It could be anything random as you want, but let's just call it ad, and then equals. And then you can have either, if the traffic network that you're using has a field that dynamically can display the name of the ad. So for example, this one does, it says banner.name. You can put banner.name here and it will automatically display the banner name into a tracking account. Okay. Now, if it doesn't have a field, they can dynamically, if the traffic network they're using doesn't have this, you can basically put enter, add name, make sure there's no spaces, and put the parameter as whatever's after the and sign and before the equal sign. I'm gonna say that one more time. Make sure the parameter is whatever's after the and sign and before the equal sign. So we're just gonna copy and paste this and paste that. Now what's gonna happen is at the end of your URL, you're gonna have this thing right here. Okay, the and add equals enter add name. And all you want to do is, let's save this campaign as an example. What you want to do is, once you are making a campaign on a traffic network, you can change this enter ad name, right, to the name of the ad. So for example, let's just actually delete all this. If I have 5 ads, so I have ad 1, ad 2, ad 3, ad 4, and ad 5. For each link, for every single one of these ads, what I'll be doing is I'll submitting this link, but instead of putting enter ad name, I'll put this as ad 1, okay? For ad 1. For ad 2, we're just gonna put the same thing, but instead of enter ad name, right here, when we submit our second ad, and we submit the URL for our second ad, we're gonna change enter ad name to ad 2. See that? And we can do the same thing for ad 3. Ad 3. Same thing for ad 4. Ad 4. This last thing for ad 5. And what's going to happen is every single time there's a click on ad 5, okay, CPV Labs is going to register that it came from ad 5, and then this part right here is going to be displayed within reports. So if there's a conversion from ad 5, this is how you can see exactly what ad created the conversion, and which ad created, and which ad is profitable and which ad is not, by making sure that you assign a specific name, right, for the ad parameter for each ad. And if you do this, let's just do an example. So if we were to get a click on ad 5, right here, so we click ad 5, then what's going to happen is if we now press our reports and press open stats, we can see that we had a click on ad 5, and we can see the amount of landing page clicks that ad 5 had, the amount of conversions that ad 5 had. Let's just say, for example, if we had a click on ad 3, and copy this link and paste it. So we can see we had a click on ad 3. Refresh our stats, you're gonna see ad 3 show up. See that? So you can see ad 3 shows up, okay? So that's why you want to format things like I just said. So let me see if I can find it again. So that's why you want to format things like I just said, so you can see exactly what ad is profitable, exactly what ad is not profitable, exactly what ad is bringing you the conversions, and what one is not bringing you the conversions. Very, very simply. So again, make sure the ad name, you can call it whatever you want. We call it ad name, and it's going to display that title right here. And your URL append, you want to make sure you structure it as and. They can put anything random between here, equals, and they can put it as enter ad name, but make sure you change the enter ad name like we just did to the name of the ad. And so when you submit ad 1, you give it this link. When you submit ad 2, give it this link. Submit ad 3, give it this link. So you can see it's the same CPV Labs URL. You got the 382C in all of these URLs, but all you're doing is you're changing where it says and ad equals, and changing where it says enter ad name to ad 1, ad 2, ad 3, ad 4, ad 5. So when you submit ad 1, people are going to be registered to this link. Ad 2, people are going to be registered to this link. Ad 3, people are going to be registered to this link, so on and so forth. Okay, and you can change to whatever you want. So it's just for your reference, but make sure there's no spaces within this link. Last thing you want to do is you want to make sure you can capture extra tokens, because what extra tokens allows you to do is it allows you to add more information from a traffic network into CPV Labs. So sometimes your traffic network, it has more information, so we can see the amount, the bid price. Okay, we want to be able to see the browser the browser name from a visitor. You want to see the country for a visitor. All of this information can be displayed automatically from the traffic network to CPV Labs if you add all of these tokens. And then once you go to your stats within CPV Labs, you can basically have an option that says capture extra tokens. Right, where is it? So yeah, what's going to happen is once you do add extra tokens, okay, you're going to have an option that's going to say capture extra tokens or see extra tokens. And you can see the stats for your extra tokens. So you can see the exact, I don't know, browser that's doing the best, or the exact country that's doing the best, or the exact operating system that's doing the best, okay? So that's where you want to make sure you add the extra tokens. And very, very simply, again, go to trackingtokens.com, find your traffic network and add the tokens in. And I'm gonna show you exactly how to add the tokens in. It's the exact same way. So you press capture extra tokens, and we can add as many as we want or delete them. So we just want to call the token name anything. This is just so it can display the name within the table. So for example, we might call the token, I don't know, categories, okay? If you want to find the categories, okay? So you can just type category as the ad name, so category right here. URL append is going to be the same thing. So we're going to put and, let's put cat for category, okay? It could be anything random. And then put equals and paste the token. So again, and anything random equals and paste this token. Make sure there's no spaces. And the parameter, very, very simply, is going to be whatever's after the and sign and before the equal sign. So right now in this instance, it's going to be cat. Okay, for category. You can do category or it can be whatever you want. Okay, just make sure it's and anything random equals and paste in the parameter section, whatever's after the and sign and before the equal sign. Let's do another one. So let's do target name. Okay, so I'm gonna copy it. Let's call it target name. And anything random, so just put let's call it target equals, paste, and parameter is going to be whatever's after the and sign and before the equal sign. Boom. See that? Very, 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 very simple. It's not hard. Use a country. Let's just put country. You can add as many of these that you feel like is necessary, or I just add all of them all the time. So category, or was it country? Country. Let's put and, let's put count, I do apologize, equals, paste, user country, and we're just going to put count right here, okay? And once you've done that, we're going to press save campaign. And if you now look at our offer URL, all the extra tokens get added to our offer URL, and all of this information will dynamically get displayed into your tracker, okay? So from your traffic network to your tracker, all of this information will get displayed. So you can see the exact categories that are doing the best. You can see the exact targets that are doing the best, the exact countries that are doing the best. And if you press option selected on CPV Labs after you press open stats, and see custom tokens now, you can see the exact categories that's doing the best, targets that's doing the best, countries that's doing the best. So you can optimize your campaign and bid on the countries that are doing the best for you, or pause the countries that are doing the worst for you, and you can optimize your campaign that way. So it's very, 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 very simple. And campaign type, you want to leave as direct link, and landing page, you want to leave it as landing page right here. And once you're adding your landing pages, if you want to add multiple landing pages, you can do so. So for example, if this is landing page 2, and we have an off URL right here, that's our, let's put landing page 2. All we need to do is make sure that each landing page has a unique ID, so it's going to be called 2. And we can change the share to be 50-50 by pressing the equal sign, and it'll automatically give each one even rotation. Or you can give one, I don't know, 75% rotation and another one 25% rotation. So then this landing page is going to be shown 75% of the time, and this landing page is going to be shown 25% of the time. But make sure that both of these numbers, they add up to 100. And your offer URLs, what I'm going to do is I'm going to log into the network and I'm going to show you exactly how to structure your offer URLs. Okay, so I'm press save campaign. And I'm gonna log into the A1 Revenue Network so we can add our offer URLs and we should be good to go, okay? So let me just pause this video and I'm gonna come back in a quick second. So welcome back, and right now I am in an affiliate account inside of the A1 Revenue Network. So for example, if I wanna promote this offer, okay, so let's just choose this offer, reaction with Apex Rush upsell. We are going to very, very simply do, and it tells us the payouts as well for both of these offers. All we're going to do is press agree to terms, and what's going to happen is we're now going to be able to have a link for our offer. Now we don't want to just take this link and paste it into our CPV Labs account, because things are not going to work properly, and when we get a conversion it's not going to fire properly. So what we're going to need to do is and again, this offer has multiple landing pages, so you can preview the landing page right here. So this landing page this offer page it looks like this, and this offer page looks like the mature one looks like this. Okay, so it can be good depending on the demographic of traffic that you are sending to the offer. So let's just say, for example, if we want to take this offer URL, what you're going to need to do is you want to do two things. You want to add a source and you want to add a sub ID. Now a source is basically going to be like a little key that you're going to have that's going to allow us to be able to see in a better way the traffic that converts well for you and the traffic that doesn't convert well for you. And let's say, for example, if you're running a campaign, I don't know, in let's just say Australia on Traffic Factory on mobile. So instead of you run, and let's say, for example, you have one campaign in Australia, Traffic Factory on mobile, and you have another campaign in UK, Traffic Factory on mobile. You might find that Australia Traffic Factory mobile has a better quality than UK in Traffic Factory and mobile. So if you were to find out that Australia does better than UK, if you were to pass a source for each campaign that you have, okay, so it could be a little key. So for example, the Australian campaign, it might be AUS, TF, MOB. That we'll be able to see this information. We'll be able to see this, and we can tell you that, look, listen, instead of pausing you on the whole offer, pause the UK. So let's say, for example, UK Traffic Factory mobile, pause this source right here and keep running this source right here. So instead of you getting paused on the whole offer, what's going to happen is we can then tell you if you create for every single new place that you're running on, or every single new type of campaign that you're running on, if you can tell us, if you can put this information into like a little key and then put that into your offer URL, it's going to allow us to be able to help you optimize your campaign better, so you can have longevity on the offer rather than getting paused on the offer. Okay, so please do make sure that you use a source. Okay, and it's just a little key for each of your campaigns. You can have it for every single new device that you're running on, or every single country that you're running on, or every single new site that you're running on. But put a little key. It can be ambiguous if you want, but put a key that's memorable to you, so you can know exactly what campaign to pause or what campaign to ramp up on if the quality is good or if the quality is bad, okay, for a specific source. Okay, so for this campaign, let's just put a US Traffic Factory mobile. So let's put that, and I press add, and it's going to add it to our offer URL right here. And for the sub ID, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we use sub ID 2, okay? And the sub ID is basically a string of characters the tracker generates for you automatically, and it gets added to the end of your offer URL. Okay, so it's going to get added to the end of your offer URL right here. But what we need to make sure that we do is we need to make sure that we add the sub ID 2 field to make sure that your tracker can connect with the network, and that anytime you get conversion on the network, it fires back into your tracker. Let me say that one more time. A sub ID is a random string of characters that gets generated every single time you get a click, but you need to make sure that you use the sub ID 2 field so that your tracker can connect with the network every single time there's a conversion. So then when you have a conversion on the network, it can pass dynamically back to your tracker automatically, okay? So the very, very simple rule that I tell all my affiliates is you want to just put anything random in the sub ID 2 field and press update, and it's going to add it to your offer URL. And you want to copy everything, right, but the randomness. So all we really need is the _sub2 field right here, but we don't need any of the randomness, okay? So include the equal sign, but copy everything except for the randomness, okay? And all we want to do is paste this URL into, so let me just paste this URL into our tracker. So instead of Forbes.com, I'm going to put the tracking URL, make sure it has the _sub2 equals right here at the end of it. So now when we press append sub ID to offer, random characters are going to get added to the end of this link right here. Okay, in the same way it got added here. But now every single time there's a conversion, it can tell us that this random character created this conversion, and it'll fire back to your tracking account. Don't have to worry about why. It's like driving a car. You don't have to worry about how the engine works or how the catalytic converter works. Just do it like this and it should be good. Okay, so we have the key as a source, and we have the _sub2 for us to be able to add the sub IDs to. Okay, and what we need to do is press append sub ID to offer. Then we're going to call this the name of the offer, reaction. Going to put the payouts. So it's going to put 30 for now as an example. And going to press save campaign. So right now, if we were to go to our campaign URL, click on the landing page, it's going to go to this offer right here. Now with this specific offer, because it's a two-step offer, what we need to do is we need to make sure that we put a conversion pixel for this offer. And all we need to do is we need to basically press your pixel / postbacks and press add new pixel / postback. And this is the last step, just to make sure that your tracking account works with the network. So we press add new pixel / postback, and we need to press code type as postback URL and go. We're going to need to do it twice. We need to put a postback URL for the main offer, and we're going to need to put the postback URL for the upsell. Okay, so all we need to do is we need to go down to where it says tracking pixel, and it says add pixel to affiliate network, and we can simply copy the image pixel, and we're going to need to change things a little bit. So we need to copy what's between the exclamation marks or these quotation marks right here, and I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to need to format things. So I'm just going to open up a notepad. So again, we need to copy what's between the quotation marks, and we can delete everything else. So let me delete everything else. So this is how our main URL looks like. Now what you're going to need to do, and please pay attention here, is you're going to need to modify this URL so that things will track. And all you need to do is you need to add this right here to the end of this URL. So again, let's just recap. Let's go back. We need to copy where it says image pixel, copy just what's between the quotation marks, the HTTP, all the way up to .php. We need to paste it in a notepad, and we need to basically add this string of text. Okay, I'm gonna include this as well somewhere around this video to the end of your postback, the end of your image pixel, okay, URL. So very simply, we're gonna add this at the end. So it needs to be question mark sub ID equals. Then this is just basically it's going to be dynamically displayed, and the revenue amount as well passes back the payout they get from the network to your tracker. And this clad equals true part as well. It's just necessary if you have upsells. Okay, so this is how we track upsells. So again, I'm gonna include this somewhere around this video, but all you need to do is paste it at the end there, making sure there's no spaces. I'm going to copy this link, and this is going to be called your postback URL. Postback URL. I'm going to copy this whole link right here, everything. I'm going to paste it inside of our affiliate network. So it says code. I'm going to paste it right here. Okay, and these are just some different parameters they can add to your postback URL, but it's just unnecessary for now. We just need to make sure that our postback URL looks like this. So one last time. All we do is copy the image pixel. We focus on this URL right here. That's between the quotation marks. Then we add step 2. So step 2 is we add this string of characters right here to the end of our postback URL. Okay? And once you've done that, then what's going to happen is we now paste it in where it says add postback URL on the offer. Okay, so go down and we press your pixel / postbacks, press add new pixel / postback, set the postback URL and paste it right here and press create. And you can see that the postback URL was successfully added right here. Now, because this offer is a two-step offer that pays on the initial purchase of this, and it pays on the upsell that people see after they bought the main product, you want to make sure that you add a pixel / postback for the second offer, okay, the upsell offer. And all you need to do is, instead of putting default as goal, you need to make sure you press Apex Rush or whatever the name of the upsell is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paste that exact same postback URL right here. I'm gonna press create. And what's going to happen is every single time that there's a conversion, is going to fire not only for the first conversion, but it's also going to fire if somebody buys the upsell, and it's going to put the payout as well back into CPV Labs. Okay, and that's pretty much all you need to do. So our campaign is pretty much ready to go. If you want to test multiple landing pages, we can test multiple landing pages. Okay, so if you want to test one default URL versus the mature landing page, then we're going to copy everything except for the randomness for the default URL, and we're going to add it right here. So this could be called reaction mature landing page, and this could be default landing page. So reaction default landing page. Give every single offer a unique ID. I want to rotate these evenly, so I'm going to press equals to share it evenly, and let's just put 30. What's going to happen is automatically, because you've now added your postback URL like this, what's going to happen is because you have this payout token right here, this payout bit right here, which you can see right here, because you have the and revenue equals payout, what's going to happen is automatically every single time you get conversion, the payout amount should dynamically be displayed within your CPV Labs account. Okay, should do. If you have any questions, again, you can always make sure you get Coda or read the CPV Labs manual, or even just hit up CPV Labs support, but that's essentially how it works. Okay, and if we press save campaign, our campaign is pretty much ready to go. So we've added the tokens right here. We've added the cost per click. We've made sure that append sub ID is to offer. We've added 2 landing pages that's going to be rotated. We can always change the rotation amount. So that now, if we go to our link, if we want to test it, and let's just change enter ad name to testing ad. Testing ad. If we now go to this link, whoops. So what happened is, because this was an example of a landing page. This wasn't actually a real landing page. If you guys remember, this wasn't a real landing page. So that's why I'm gonna delete it right now. Change to 100 and press save campaign. So I've got my actual real landing page right here. Just put an example, random one right here, just to show you as an example. But I've got my real landing page right here. So I'm gonna paste it, and you can see that it's gonna go to this specific landing page. Okay. And if I open up my stats, you can see that testing ad just got 2 clicks, which we just did just then. And these offers are going to be rotated. So once we now start clicking on these offers, it's going to be rotated, and we can now start to see if the mature landing page is better than the default landing page. And every single time we get conversion, it should automatically fire that conversion into CPV Labs. Okay, so this is how we pretty much make a campaign with CPV Labs. I know it's kind of lengthy, but once you do it a few times, you should get the hang of it. Okay, so it's your boy Mr. Opulent. Watch this video a few times. Make sure you add the sources for every single new campaign that you're making. Make sure as well that you add the randomness to the URL and you delete it once you put the off URL into your tracker. Make sure you press append sub ID to offer. And if you do this and use your campaign URL, making sure you change enter ad name, you should be good to go. Just the same way we did it right here. Add 1, add 2, add 3, add 4, add 5. So it's your boy Mr. Opulent. Watch this a couple of times. You should get the hang of it. But yeah, it should be pretty self-explanatory after you've done it a few times. And if you have any questions, please do let us know.